Hey there, friends. I hope all of you are having a swell beginning of the week. It's Monday, Moon Day. I wanted to take you through my pretty ugly planner. I am laying out this week. Probably should have done that last week, but I just didn't. So that's what last week looked like. If you would like an in-depth coverage of this, then join us over at Patreon, because we do an in-depth look every week at my pretty ugly planner. Why do I call it a pretty ugly planner? It looks like this, which is really pretty, but it started out kind of as a ugly-ish sort of thing, and then it started getting prettier and prettier and prettier and prettier. So now I call it my pretty ugly planner, just as a fun thing to call it. I call her my PUP, P-U-P, pretty ugly planner. I know a lot of you have talked about going back to doing, like a altered composition book planner. To me, this just works with me. It's not the thing for everybody, but if you're looking for something simple, if you're looking for a planner that is $1 instead of lots more dollars than $1, then check out a pretty ugly planner. Check out a composition book and just do your thing. The first thing that I want to do today is I have chosen my Leanne stickers. I exclusively use Leanne stickers in my planner. These are Creative Freedom paper stickers. You can tag Leanne on Instagram at Creatively Free to Be Me. She is awesome. I will put a link to her shopping site, her Etsy store, in the description box below. So here's the deal. So she gives you days of the week. I'm going with yellow and teal. She gives you these funky, cool sticky notes to work with, as well as labels. Now, I'm always kind of making mistakes in my planner, so I particularly really like the labels as well as the sticky notes too. So let's go ahead and get our days of the week done. My planner starts on Monday and goes through Sunday. I am a daily worker, so that kind of changes for everybody. Sometimes you might have weekends off and fun things like that, but when you are a gig economy worker, you kind of are going to be working every day. I heard a funny interview. Well, I read the book. This is my sticking point. This is not going to go in my new planner, and I already kind of have my new planner started I already have it because it was $1 at the dollar store, Dollar Tree, and so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and pick up my planner, no looking, no stress. But anyway, this middle column here, which is Thursday, is not going to be in my new planner. So Leanne sticker, I'm sorry, Leanne, always have to cut like that much out of it because, and of course I saved the thing that says day because that's fun. Thursday. I read the book. Now hold on a second because I can't remember the name of the book. On. It's over here. Do Nothing by Celeste Headley, which was a very enlightening read. But she stops working for the company that she worked for because she wants to have a simpler life. So she goes into business for herself. And it's like, it's funny, because that is not going to give you a simpler life, my friends. There's nothing quite like being a business owner. it is marvelous in a lot of ways, but you are going to work like 7 days a week. You're always going to be working. So as you know, as soon as you kind of come to terms with that arrangement, then you'll be okie dokie. The next thing that I've already done this, I've already put the dates in right here. I've already put the temperatures in, because temperature really does matter when I am gardening. And I really do love to garden, and I always just need to kind of make sure that I have the gardening things, the temperatures noted for days that I want to garden. Chris plays Saturday and Sunday this week, but I have forgotten where. So I'm just going to put Chris show. We are in phase 2 here. He played this weekend, which was really awesome. But he said that one of the bars he plays at was packed, and people were, sitting at the bar, drinking at the bar. Bar was open, pool was going on, but that one of the bars, here's the rule: you cannot sit at the bar, and you cannot play pool. I have no idea. Don't ask me. I just don't know. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and get this is another Leanne sticker, probably one of my very favorites. I'm really hoping that I don't have to reorder this because this is how I've been tracking the elephant in the room. So we'll just pull one of these off, and we are in week 14 of this. We still have not all the way reopened in Virginia. I did see something about schools reopening, but that's not going to happen. If they open, it was this very kind of tedious explanation of how that's going to go. Some of it was remote learning. Some of it was encouraging children, that children could come back in batches for part of a week, and then they would close schools for 2 weeks and clean, and then allow. It's just a lot. It was just a lot of crapola. Not crapola. I didn't mean to say that. It's just like that. I'm exhausted, and I know everybody else is too, especially people who have been managing their children, managing work from home, managing, I mean, when you're home, it just requires a lot of work. But I know that some people are also super embracing it, and that's an awesome thing. This is usually kind of like where my expand my brand thing goes. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in, because I am kind of getting more ideas about things to add to the Etsy store that may not be paper related, but are healing related or self-care related, because to me that kind of all goes together. The paper thing denotes art denotes spirituality denotes self-care, self-preservation, that kind of thing. So it's kind of like all coming together in my head. I did figure out this week that a lot of you really did like the creative clusters that we're doing for the journal. So I will be working on creative clusters to put into the Etsy store. Not sure when I'll get to do that, but it is on the list under Expand My Brand. I know I want to do shower steamers, and I already have rose petals. My sweet friend, my neighbor, allows me to pick her roses that are on my side of the yard. So I am really starting to collect. You should smell it in here. This. Look at all the different colors of roses that she grows. And it's so cool because, you know, at the beginning of her rose season, she came over here to bring me blueberries, socially distanced, of course. And she said, I never even see the roses that are on your side of my yard. She said, so feel free to pick. And I have just had such a delightful time picking those roses, putting them in my house, and then drying them. It's just been fun. Okay, so there we go. I like to put quotes here, and I was like putting the quotes here, writing them in, and then doing the painting. But what I want to do this time is do the painting. It's kind of fun to do this because I'm almost making a rubbing, and then because I'm picking up the things that I've glued in on my previous week, and it's kind of cool because you kind of get these really neat textures going on. And again, you know, going back to Leanne's color scheme I'm using. Look, isn't that pretty? Darn, man, that kind of makes me not want to, I don't know if I'll paint that or not. Yeah, we'll give it a little paint. We'll give it a little paint so we can see how it works right there. Do a little bit of yellow. I'm using a Derwent Ink Tints pencil. I really do like them. I only have 12 of them, which is fine, you know. I can't even think if I've got like one of those 36 set. Whoa, that's a lot. So 12 is always a good number for me to work with. Now you can see how smooth these things are. Usually I just do these 3 columns for quotes that have kind of been really into the quote thing lately. And I'm reading 2 new books, and I'm really excited about those. And I know that I will, you know, kind of want to pick up quotes from those 2 new books. One is called The End of October, and it was written before the thing and describes the thing to a T. So somebody had some like prescient knowledge in that sucker. Good grief. The other one is, would look at my phone, but I can't because I'm recording. I can't remember what it is now. But anyway, I've got 2 new reads, so I'm excited about that. I'm also kind of preparing for Mercury retrograde June 18th through July 12th. Now, that's kind of a shade-y kind of thing. So I wanted to do some coffee shade here, but I don't think I pulled out coffee shade. That's another Leanne sticker. Shoot. Okay, so instead, well, there it is right there. There's coffee shade. But she calls this emoji sampler 1, which is why it has coffee shade on it. I love Leanne too because she sends you these excellent little samplers. So they have all kinds of things on it when you order from her store. So we're going to really have to keep an eye on that Mercury retrograde. That is June the 18th through July 12th. Never too early to prepare for something like that. I think we're good with the moon phase. I should have noted that. We've got our full moon right here. These moon phase stickers are awesome. I think we'll probably have a first quarter, but I don't know when that is. But I'll put these on after I know when it is, right? I'm going to just pour some water into my, I gotta show you all this. This is my paint jar, glue jar. Isn't it just looking all kinds of interesting? I love things like that. One of my favorite things that my uncle had in his bedroom, which is where I hung out when I was a child because he had music, he had art. I was always welcome. It was just my favorite place in the whole world. And one of the things that he had was a, look how pretty that is. Now I know I'm bumping, this is why it's called a Pretty Ugly Planner. It's my planner. I don't have to make it neat. I don't have to make it fancy. It is my deal. And this is how I like to do it. So I've dribbled a little up here. It's okay, I'm 62. You'd be amazed at how much you dribble when you're 62. I really like the way that turned out. One of my favorite things in his room was this, I mean, aside from the posters, the art, it always kind of smelled like pastel crayons because he liked to use that, and charcoal. He used a lot of charcoal. And pencil shavings because he did a lot of sketching. And one of my favorite things he had was like this jar. And it was like kind of shaped like a teardrop. And he would melt crayons onto the jar. And it was just, you know, one of those offhand kind of crazy things that you just remember. Another really big favorite with me right now with Leanne's shop is her pastel witchy stuff. It has tarot cards, stars, this awesome little incense burner, of course a pendulum, and the skulls. I'm crazy about the skulls. So I thought it would be kind of fun to use one of the skulls in this spread. I would put it over here, but I'm not sure now. Oh, I know. I'm going to put it here. Chris bought face mask. The first face mask he bought had a skull on it. So when you put it on your face, it kind of pulled up to your nose, but your nose looked like a skull. Chris really likes skull, anything skull imagery. All right, we're good to go with this far. Let's go ahead and lay in our scrolls. Now, I like to do this, and I like to kind of freehand it. They're not fancy. I'm going to go back with a pen so you can kind of see what I do. All right, and then I'm going to go back with the pen and kind of sketch around them. A lot of sketchy lines, but then I'll show you what we do. Oops. You find these things that you routinely do. Now, for years I've done this. You know, I've done little scrolls, and it just makes you kind of just feel better. I did bubble letters this morning. My patrons are getting bubble letters, and I made them a bubble letter printable. I hope they like it. And that was another soothing thing. Doing bubble letters makes me remember being a teacher, teaching assistant for years and years. And oh my gosh, I wonder how many bubble letters I cut out in 10 years. It was so awesome working with the lady that I worked with because she allowed me to be artistic. You know, that's a fun thing to recapitulate. Recapitulation is memory without attachment and regret, you know, to the memory that you're recapitulating. You're just kind of like reliving something. And for me, one of the fun things that I like to recapitulate is bosses that I've had through the years. And jobs, you know, that you've had through the years. All that kind of stuff is really kind of fun. And I mean, even if you've had bad jobs and bad bosses, didn't that just lead you to someplace great? You know, every little step is every little step is a step in the right direction, actually. This is, again, from a Leanne envelope. This is a T-Rex, and I've got my 2 days over here. I think I just want to kind of cheer up this poor COVID guy, you know. So we're going to put one of Leanne's little sunshine cards right here. I don't have that full, sheet, but, you know, again, you can find it in her store, and I'll link her store. I think that is about it. I'm all kind of set up for the week. I did not color my COVID guy in, so let's do that while I've got my pencils out. I'll just give him some color, make him feel better. And I've still got my brush wet, so we'll do that. All right, guys, I hope you have a stellar week. Feel good, feel positive, feel hopeful. Remember that you control the way you feel about this situation. Thanks, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.